Hey, everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the Cleveland Browns and the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Right at the convergence of the Three Rivers on Art Rooney Drive, we welcome you to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Cleveland Browns and the Pittsburgh Steelers. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Steeler ball club entering play. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the Browns here, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Roberts on the return. He stiff arms it. So the Steelers offense getting set for their first drive. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off.
On first down, Fields. Open man, completes it to Smith-Schuster. The numbers for Smith-Schuster in that game last week, comfortably up over 100 yards when cruising past that number, and 2 touchdowns.
How'd you like to be the D coordinator this week? He watched that game last week, and I know his first thought was, we have to find a way to take him out of the game plan. We cannot let him do that to us. One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches, so as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
All right, here we go.
Harris. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. And let's take a look at the Steeler offense.
Out wide was the youngest player in the NFL in 2017, Juju Smith-Schuster. And he also had the longest reception in the league last season at 97 yards. Actually well-schooled in route running and able to run from both outside and moving inside to the slot position in order to make big plays.
Looking to throw. Fields finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. Well, they tried to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. And we get a glance here at their leader, the man who will be calling the plays under center.
It's pretty much become the norm when we see guys come out before a game and go through the route tree with their receivers. I thought it was exciting for us to see the exact same thing happen in practice.
He's so meticulous, isn't he?
He really is, and that tells me it's not just a one-time-a-week thing. They work on it all the time, trying to hone that fine edge. They want to see if they can get in sync and stay in sync in this one.
Now let's go.
Now a handoff looking right. And he spins through. A great effort there. An 80-yard touchdown. And the Browns have taken the early lead. And with his speed, if he just finds the slightest crease, he can take it the distance like he did there.
How about the leverage up front? Offensive line out leveraging the defensive front to create that space, that crease that he was looking for. And once he hits open field, he's going to be very difficult to catch and corral.
Now for the point after. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken in at the 1. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
And he'll be tackled at about the 35. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. A look now at the starters on the defensive side for the Browns. They were very solid last week in the victory over Baltimore.
And the big difference in the game, their ability to force turnovers. Multiple, in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, the big difference in the game.
It was impressive. Now the question, can they duplicate it?
Here we go.
Looking to throw on second down. Fields. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 and a first down.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up the first down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
This is Harris. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
From the midfield strike, they'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. A big play there. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers. That meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
McManus's point after is good, and we are tied at 7. 5 plays there on that drive, and it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball, but how about them just taking it big-time jaunt. Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect. And the offense on the field for the first time today, and they were high-powered a week ago.
And they're beginning to believe that they've established a groove. They expect those type of performances each and every week. Running it, throwing it, they're precise.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now they try the right side here. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. And as a first-rounder, a lot of eyes on him, a lot of expectations.
And he has to play well in his rookie year. Those days of coddling guys and bringing them along slowly, those days are long gone. When you're drafted in the first round, they expect you to play right away. And the community's eyes and fan base, they'll be on you the entire way.
And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago. Really, pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that. Give him clean reins to throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
It's a 45-yard punt, then 8 on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown. Now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
Set. Blue 90.
Throwing on 1st down. Fields over the middle. Hauled in by Smith-Schuster. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down.
When the hitch route is run really well, that jab step off the line of scrimmage by the receiver, which is designed to back up the defender and give him a little bit of space, all you want there, get that space, catch the football, and then make a move and pick up extra yardage. And that's exactly what he got done there.
And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another 1st down.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? This quarterback now already over 100 yards passing in this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Down right around the 25. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
To throw on 2nd down. Fields. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. He probably feels like he cannot get a break. He was sacked 7 times last week. And here we go again in the first quarter.
And we always talk about the internal clock of a quarterback in the pocket and how he has to have a real keen sense of it in order to get rid of the football. After being sacked 7 times last week, that clock has been sped up.
Here we go now. Green.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Fields escaping the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
Well, partner, nothing comes open here, so he decides to escape out of there, and he doesn't pick up a 1st down, but he does gain additional yardage to set up a possible field goal attempt if they decide to go that route.
And McManus able to put it through. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So a good kick there, and they put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the 3.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow. Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And you see his numbers from a week ago. He was up over 100 yards then, and he's already hit pay dirt here once in this one.
We always talk about quarterbacks and receivers getting into rhythm, right? Really feeling good, finding each other downfield. I think running backs operate the same way. They can hit a good rhythm and a good stride, and he's carrying it over from last week.
Now a handoff looking right. And some space here. A big seam, and he might go all the way. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. A great play there. 77 yards. And the Browns are able to strike quickly for 6. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognizes
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is now 14-10. I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. 1 play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Roberts on the return. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Now Harris. And he powers his way up past the 30. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now, look, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run.
Now let's go. Boom.
On 3rd down, it's Harris, and he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a 1st down. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
3rd and 2, right? So this is a situation where low man has got to win at the line of scrimmage, but it's not just the low man winning. It's the low man who's winning with some force, and they had that to pick up the 1st down.
Barely picking it up, but they did. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39.
They run with Harris. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground.
Blue 90. Blue 90.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Fields. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. His first catch there. Good for 10 yards and a 1st down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Here we go. Green, 39.
On 1st and 10, Fields. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Back to throw. Fields. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a 1st down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They run with Harris down to the 25. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now, prior to the snap, we hit all zeros as time has run out on the 1st quarter of play. 14-10 the score. More from the Steel City coming up after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers.
Back with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's Steeler football to begin quarter number 2. They face a 2nd and 7 to start things out.
Here we go now. Blue landed.
Looking to throw. Fields. Wide open receiver, complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another 1st down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players. Somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination. Guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
And when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
They'll give it to him up the middle. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
Hurry up, here we go. 319. 319.
From the gun on 3rd down. Fields got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. In for the score. And the Steelers are able to strike for 6. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route. Ordinarily, it's probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. Extra point from McManus is good. And it's now 17-14. Now McManus on to kick this one off. This is taken at his 4. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And he's found the end zone twice, and now I'm guessing he's thinking, hey, let's find it 3 times.
And you got to figure from the defensive perspective, how has he gotten there twice? What are we going to do to keep him out for a 3rd time? How do we tighten things down? Because he and his offensive mates, they are really in sync right now.
Now they'll run it on the taunts. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a 1st down. Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Yeah, and let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you've got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability right now.
They go play action here on 1st down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time, because let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Let's go!
Now this time he'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Lamb. And he's got this down to the 35. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a 1st down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. Give him 30 yards there.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
A first red zone opportunity for the Browns thus far. They've got it 1st and goal at the 6. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
They'll try and sneak it here. And he's in. Touchdown, Browns. It's their quarterback with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Browns are able to cash in for 6. So he's able to sneak it in, and credit to the guys up front.
Oh, without a doubt, because they have the leverage on this play. We always talk about low man wins and one-on-one battles. That's exactly what happened there. Their offensive line lower than the defensive front.
Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it was capped off by the quarterback sneak for 6. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match at a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
On first down, Fields, wide open receiver, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Fields under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
So this has been a lot like a tennis match, hasn't it? Back and forth. Both of these offenses having their way so far. So maybe the question isn't who's going to score the most points in this game. Maybe it's who's going to get some stops.
Yeah, absolutely. And that sack, finally a first step in the right direction for a stop. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack.
3-19!
There's Harris. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the second quarter, it has been a struggle. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. Might he be on his way to a record-setting performance here, Charles? Second quarter and the yardage number already ridiculous.
And they always talk about just focusing on the next play. But sometimes it's okay to dream big because
I'm focusing on the 4th quarter already.
Listen, I don't blame you, though, because we could be witnessing some type of history here, and it's being done by him and, of course, the big guys up front who are creating the holes for him to run through.
Yeah, they've all been good so far.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
To throw on 2nd down. Murray, even with the nice move, can't go very far. Stop short of the 30. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and they're going to have a 3rd down. The Browns on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
Here we go now.
From the gun, Murray fighting, lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
To throw on third down. Fields. This is caught. It's Cooks. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A minute 57 to go in this first half. Back to Heinz Field after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. This quarterback now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10.
Now let's go.
Operating from the gun. Fields. He gets it to Cooks. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down. Looking to throw on second down. Fields. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that'll make it 3rd down. From the gun, Fields. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short. Blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that's a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
Unable to corral him. He fights through. Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop him with a tick under a minute to go before half. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Steelers are able to strike for 6. These two teams in this first half, it's been fun. Back and forth, back and forth. Well, it's not fun for the defensive coordinators, but offensive coordinators are enjoying it.
Yeah, they're having streaks here, aren't they? Being able to put scores together and really bunch them up, and we have a tight game here. You know, we often talk about having the right shoes for the right turf. Today it's track shoes. That's what we've seen with these offenses.
Yeah, it's been an absolute track meet so far, and fun to watch. McManus's point after is good, and that gives him a 3-point lead. This one fielded at the 5. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And Charles, you can't really fault him. He's over 100 yards already. He's not the reason they're losing.
And that is really unusual because ordinarily when you've set the tone this way and have run it this effectively, usually your team's in control. So it's a very strange situation. And you're right, you can't fault him. He's done a great job for his team thus far.
I'm guessing he's saying, feed me on the sidelines. Now will they continue to do it? A good pickup there, a 22. First down now, but that clock rolling. Throwing on first down. Murray. Throw left side complete. It's Barry. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. from the red zone now. They'll look to throw. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Green 39! Green 39!
Now they'll run it on the toss. And despite the fancy footwork we saw, they'll get to him just inside the 15. And before they can run this third down play, we're going to get a timeout, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number one. The Browns on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6.
Now let's go! 3-19!
Murray now. Murray fighting, lost the football. And it looks like Steeler football. It is. 9 seconds to play, likely the final snap of the first half as it's 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green.
Following the fumble recovery, Fields eluding the pressure, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And they were winners in that one as they take care of the visiting Denver Broncos. 14-11, the final score. Lastly, let's get you way up to Seattle. See what's happening with the Seahawks. And they were losers in that ball game to the visiting New Orleans Saints. 20-9, the final score. Meanwhile, in our game, no shortage of offense as each team been able to move the ball effectively. Will the defenses show up in the second half? To find out, we give it back to our commentators, Brandon Gotten and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. It's been a shootout so far. We'll see which defense can make the adjustments as we get back underway in the second half. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
He's had a big game tonight, and while no one's going to be overly concerned about that last play, you also know that the offense coordinator does not want to see that happen again. They want to get back to doing what they've been doing all game long.
On third down, Murray. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And got his man complete. Past the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. A big play there. 81 yards. And the Browns are able to cash in for 6. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute, well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. That's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long,
Backyard.
man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Roberts on the return. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Throwing right, and that's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight. Doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
To throw on second down. Fields. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down.
Good route. Good pickup for first down yardage. And that is a tough one to cover. The angle route. Because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. This quarterback now nearing the 300-yard mark with still a quarter to play. It's 1st and 10.
All right, here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. A gain of 3, second down.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
And here he'll get it down to the 7. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a third down.
The best quarterbacks that ever played the game all wanted to blend in with their teammates and be one of the guys. But sometimes you got to take modesty and put it aside. You're the franchise quarterback, the face of the team, and the guy that leads them to victory. You have to get down and protect yourself and not take hits like that.
Back to throw. Fields. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. As his guys are in for 6. And the Steelers are able to strike for 6.
3 weeks, 3 touchdowns. It's obvious they've looked his way early and often in the red zone this year, and that's usually a pretty good place to find a tight end in the NFL.
That time, a 9-play drive. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Now McManus on to kick this one off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Browns offense back onto the field. They had gotten the lead with the opening drive touchdown in the third quarter. Now they relinquished that lead back. Could be in for an interesting second half.
It certainly appears that way, doesn't it? Almost turning into one of those pendulum games, right? Where it swings back and forth, and who's going to make the play that changes that maybe it puts it on one side and keeps it there.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
He's going to loft one deep left side here, and he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, third down. Fair to say the secondary play, whichever side you're on, hasn't really been a glowing exhibition so far, but a nice job there to prevent a long completion.
I agree with you, but at some point, someone had to make a play and try and stop this exhibition of almost speed racing that we've been watching, huh?
Yeah, it has been quarterback and receiver dominated. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pick up there of 20 yards. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
23 yards on the play.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
Now let's go.
Here's Murray. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Now they try the right side here. And, oh, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. His throw incomplete. Well, too much oomph. Too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Here we go now.
Throwing again. Murray. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Quick hands that time to knock that one away. It sure looked like a short touchdown, but able to get a good break on the football and force the incompletion.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Detroit! Detroit! Now let's go. Blue landed.
And the blitz does come. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. In for the score. And the Browns are able to cash in for 6. Sometimes those tight ends are a mismatch. They found the mismatch there.
And that's exactly why you want to draw up those types of plays, because coverage is just going to go to the natural guys, the guys that make the big plays on the outside. But if you work your tight end into it, that's a tough one for a defense to handle.
Tough, they couldn't handle it. It worked out for 6. Extra point attempt to come here. Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it's capped off by the Browns touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Roberts on the return. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing, because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
He was trying to clear the way of the big fullback. Instead, he gets a hole.
And you don't see that very often on running plays from those guys, because usually they're the lead blocker. Normally, when he gets caught, it's in a passing situation.
Hurry up, here we go.
Operating from the gun, Fields. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Set. Green, 39.
Looking to throw on second down. Fields. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And down he'll go at the 25. And they get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks, because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did. I would dare say that these guys would have liked to have given their defense a little bit more rest since they gave up a touchdown their last time out. But alas, my man, that's not going to happen.
Yep, they're going to have to grab those helmets, get right back out there.
Holding, receiving team.
A pretty good return, all things considered, but holding.
I agree with you totally. It's actually a return that they were going to be very proud of. But when you end up holding and bringing it back, now your offense has to start a little bit deeper in their own territory.
On 1st and 10, Murray. And he rifles one incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
To throw again, Murray. He's going to loft one deep left side here. It's caught inside the 25. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. A big play there. 82 yards. And the Browns add on to their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors. But that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Now the extra point. Extra point splits the uprights, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays, the long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Roberts on the return. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. He has been on his A game. We're in the 3rd quarter. He's already in search of touchdown pass number 5.
He's played so well that it's hard for me to take my eyes off of him, even when he's not on the field. I keep finding my eyes finding him on the bench in between series, wondering what he's going to do next. This has been a blast to watch him play the position.
He's been spectacular with those 4 touchdown passes.
Well, it's tough time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
To throw on 2nd down, Fields. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a 1st down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
On 1st down, Fields. And incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. This is Harris, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
All right, here we go.
To throw on 3rd down, Fields. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's closing in on 200 yards on the ground with the 4th quarter still to come. We're in the 3rd. Good shot to get there.
And now he's got to make sure he convinces his coaching staff to leave him out there and keep touching the ball because when you've had that kind of a day, there is a tendency to think about getting him out and saving some of it. Running backs never like to save yardage.
You know he's tapping his quarterback on the shoulder. I'll take the ball again, please, right?
Not turning down any carries.
And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 23 yards on the pickup there and a 1st.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, where they call play side. But how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key the left tackle?
Without a doubt. Control that edge. Get out there. You want that left tackle. If you bring your tight end over there, either way, control the edge of the line of scrimmage, you got a chance to rumble. 3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's the Browns football, and they've got the lead here as we start quarter number 4. Off the bootleg. Murray. Flushed out right. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
All right, here we go.
On third down, that's McGee. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball.
All right, here we go.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17.
So finally, at this stage of the game, he lets his legs carry him for a big-time first down. But I think this is all set up by his eyes throughout the game. He's been taking it all in as he's watched this thing unfold. And finally, the eyes carried the legs and took him downfield.
You're right. His longest run of the game waited until the fourth quarter, and maybe that lulled the defense to sleep a little bit. And he's going to bring this one down to right about the 20-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Murray. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. His huge night, it just continues as he's now north of 200 yards receiving.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and goal.
Here we go now. Green.
Looking to throw. Murray. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
When you got your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
Let's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play. Back to throw. Murray. And this is going to be incomplete.
This defense can use some more of these types of plays. How about him reading it, driving on the football, and he's right there for the pass breakup.
And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will get the lead up to 14. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Harris starts the drive on the ground. And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
To throw on 2nd down. Fields. It's caught left side by Cooks. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13. Fourth quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
Throwing on first down. Fields. Throw complete right side to Cooks. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 23 yards on the play. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
On 1st and 10, Fields. And he will find his man on the outside. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but they, as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green.
On first down, Fields. This will be caught inside the 10. And it's a fumble. And I do believe this is going to line up as safety. It is. It's a safety. How about that for a wacky play?
Partner, I know I'm supposed to really describe what happened there. I'm counting on you for this one. That was one weird play.
Well, what I was going to ask you, in these situations, shouldn't these guys just dive on the football around the goal line rather than try to make a heroic return?
That's what they're taught, but sometimes in the heat of battle, sometimes that heroic stuff comes to the front when you really don't need it.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they felt like they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, Not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here?
Hurry up, here we go. Blue line.
Following the fumble recovery, Fields. And Cooks has it over the middle. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Fields. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 23 yards on the play.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up. They've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now whistles here before the snap, and it looks like one of the Steelers may have moved.
False start, offense.
And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming, pick them up, pick them up. And someone jumped.
Set, blue, landed.
Looking to throw. Fields. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. A good pickup after the penalty, 12 yards, and it's 2nd down. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Everyone dialed in. But correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down just shy of the red zone at the 21. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. First target, first catch, and a 1st down. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Yeah, let me pump out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. But that was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
Let's go. Blue, landed.
To throw on 2nd down. Fields. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. This will be 3rd and 6.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
From the gun, Fields. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
They get one more as the extra point's up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. Now McManus on to kick this one off. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Gun! Hurry up, here we go. Green!
That one looks like he'll throw here. Murray fighting, lost the football. And the offense will get this one back. Boy, that could have been catastrophic at this late stage of the game, but they avoid disaster. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Set! Blue 90! Blue 90!
Operating from the gun, Murray. And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is fielded at the 27. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They're down here in a 1-score game. But the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Well, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Now let's go! Green 39! Green!
Back to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another 1st down. And they get up on it quickly and spike it with just a little over 50 seconds to go. Back to throw. Keeps himself upright. And this is going to be caught. No, they say it's incomplete. This defense has watched their lead dwindle away. This is where they really need to bow up. They executed well there.
And it's often hard after you've played really well early and then you kind of relax a little bit to step on the gas again. They just did it on the last play. Looks like they want to finish this one off.
And a pause in the action because the booth, they see something that they want to take another peek at to find out if this was a touchdown or not.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Partner, they're less than 2 minutes ago in the game, which means that this challenge was initiated by the fellas in New York.
And if you're the coach, you're thinking, thank you, New York.
Set. 3-19.
They're going to try and run. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. And he will not get there. He comes up short. And they're unable to push this lead to a field goal as it'll remain a one-point game. This is taken at the 3. And able to take it past the 20 a little bit, but no further. A flag in there as well. Let's see what this is.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all. Now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle.
Set. Green 39.
He's back to throw. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. A big play that time for Cleveland. 42 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10.
Gone. Here we go now.
He'll look to throw. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Browns have moved out in front here in the fourth quarter.
How many people are watching this one right here who gave up? Because that score, they might want to try and rush back into this stadium.
Yeah, what looks like is going to be the game-deciding score, although a little bit of time left, so you can't count your chickens before they're hatched.
Well, they better come back in here and watch this one because you and I, we're not going anywhere. We want to see this one play out.
And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2. From the gun, Murray, and that is incomplete. So the inability there to get the two-point conversion sort of leaves the door at least a little bit more ajar.
And puts the onus now on the kickoff team and the defense to make sure they don't give up a big play that puts them in position to lose.
Especially on this kickoff, got to be careful. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. One possession game, time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday practice every week of the season. You go over this situation, having to go downfield, limited timeouts, got to get out of bounds and keep the